breaking news as $2,000 worth of stimulus checks are finally confirmed from President himself. Look at this. What Trump's $2,000 stimulus check could mean for inflation. This is big, but you know what's bigger than this? Finally, President Trump revealed the details that who is eligible for these $2,000 checks, and in this very important video I'm going to tell you who is eligible for these checks, when you can expect this payment, and is there anything you need to do in order to be eligible for this check if you are not right now. Well, before I begin, all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please hit that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's begin. Let's start with the biggest announcement about stimulus checks from President Donald J. Trump.
And one of the things we're going to do, we're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing.
So the first thing we are going to do is to send the $2,000 worth of dividend, stimulus, or tariff rebate, whatever you want to call it, to millions of low and middle income Americans. Well, this is what President Trump posted on Truth Social. People that are against tariffs are fools. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation. Do you agree with this? Let me know in the comments below. And a record stock market price. 401ks are highest ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying out our enormous debt. $37 trillion record investment in the USA. Plants and factories are going up all over the place. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high income people, will be paid to everyone. Well, this is huge because right after this post, this is what President Trump posted. Look at this. All money left over from the $2,000 worth of payments made to low and middle income USA citizens from the massive tariff income pouring into our country from foreign countries, which will be substantial, will be used to substantially pay down national debt. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Well, this is huge for millions of Americans, especially for low-income Americans who are unable to get even SNAP food stamp benefits in the month of November because of this government shutdown. Well, the shutdown is almost over, but you need to understand that this shutdown came up with a lot of difficulties for millions of low and middle income Americans. But we can talk about it in a separate video. Let's go towards the eligibility of these stimulus checks or tariff rebate checks or dividend checks, whatever you want to call them. So look at this. President Donald Trump elaborated on his plan to provide Americans with $2,000 checks from revenue from his wide-ranging tariffs that sparked global trade tensions earlier this year. Well, remember, this is from Newsweek. I'm going to link it in the video's description so you can read this article yourself, because we want to be as honest, as transparent as possible on the Credit Viral Show. President Trump said that we are going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people, about $2,000, and we are going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt, he said while speaking to the media in the Oval Office on Monday. So one thing is confirmed right here, that first, President Trump will send these checks or these payments to Americans, and then he will take care of the national debt. Well, because earlier, like few weeks ago, it was the opposite. Like President Trump was talking about paying down the national debt, then he will send those checks to Americans. And we've been saying this for quite a while on Credit Viral Show, that President will send the checks first, then he will take care of the national debt. So Trump's proposal to hand out $2,000 from tariff revenue to Americans has not been confirmed by his administration, but President recently said that it's confirmed and we are going to send it. Well, He has repeatedly touted his tariffs as highly lucrative and beneficial to the country, though his claim that they have already generated trillions is overstated, and some analysts say that they will be costly to American households. Well, what do you think about it? Before I even move forward towards the eligibility, I would like to ask you a very important question. Do you support these $2,000 worth of stimulus checks from President Donald J. Trump? And do you think that it would make any difference in your life or not? Let me know in the comments below. If you support these checks, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus checks. Again, if you support them, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus checks, because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. So look at this. Trump announced a plan to distribute tariff revenue to Americans on Truth Social on November the 9th. I already showed you that specific post, so we're not going to get into the details, but what about the eligibility? And this is huge. Look at this. Trump proposed $2,000 tariff dividend would cost nearly $300 billion more than the tariffs have so far generated. But according to President Trump, he's receiving not just billion but trillions of dollars, and he is going to send these checks very comfortably, so Americans don't need to worry about it. Now, let's talk about the eligibility. Well, if you remember, just a few months ago, Josh Hawley presented a proposal known as Americans Worker Rebate Act. Under that proposal, $600 checks were proposed to every dependent, $600 for every adult, $1,200 for every couple, and $2,400 for a family of four. Well, according to a number of analysts and experts, that proposal came after the approval of President Donald J. Trump, and under that proposal, those checks were actually proposed for low and middle income Americans, and the income threshold was $100,000. So let me just simplify it for you. If you are someone who earns $100,000 and less, then you are going to be eligible for these $2,000 worth of dividend, stimulus, or tariff rebate checks from President Trump and this administration. And one more thing that you need to understand, that even if you are a senior receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, as well as veterans benefits, survivor or spousal benefits, then you are going to be eligible for it, because your earnings are below $100,000 if you receive under $100,000. But if you are a senior, do you know you can save around $1,100 when it comes to your Medicare plan? That's why I partnered with Chapter, where you can get unbiased help from a real person absolutely free. All you need to do is to call the number on the screen, 212-461-4492, and get the help that you deserve absolutely free. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.